Hello, good day viewers. Let us go through these 50 questions of WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. And we have question number 1 here. We are asked to multiply 3.4 times 10 to the power of negative 5 by 7.1 times 10 to the power of 8. And we are asked to leave the answer in standard form. Alright, let's get started. First of all, we can multiply these numbers together, then we multiply this together because this is commutative, right? So I would like to arrange it as 3.4 multiplied by 7.1, then multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 5 multiplied by 10 to the power of 8. If you multiply these two together, you're going to get 24.14. And if you multiply this together according to one of the laws of indices, since they have common bases, you can take a base, which is 10, and you raise it to the power of the sum of their exponents, right? So negative 5 plus 8 will give us 3. So this is 3. But remember, they say we should leave our answer in standard form. So we have to shift this decimal point backward. So this becomes 2.414. Then multiplied by 10 to the power of 4. Because we have shifted the decimal point backward one time. So therefore, we have to increase this. And hence, this is the answer to the first question. Let us move on to question number 2. Given that P, which is a set of elements P, from 1 down to 20, excluding 1 and 20, for which this P is an integer, and we have another set R that contains elements R from 0 to 25 inclusive, for which R is a multiple of 4. We are asked to find P intersection R. So first of all, we need to list down the elements in P and R. So for P, since they are integers, P greater than 1, meaning we're going to start with 2, and P less than 20, we are going to stop at 19. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and finally we have 19. And R, which is a multiple of 4. What are the multiples of 4? We have 4 itself, plus 4 we have 8, plus 4 we have 12, we have 16, we have 20, we have 24, you keep on adding 4, but they set from 0 down to 25, therefore we have to stop here because the moment you add 4 here, you have 28, which is greater than 25. So we want to find P intersection R. What does this mean? It means set of elements that they have in common. They have 4 in common, 8 in common, 12 in common, 16 in common. I think that's all. So we're going to list down 4, 8, 12, and 16. And hence, this is the solution to this problem. Moving to question number 3, which is under arithmetic progression. It reads, the first term of an arithmetic progression is 2, and the last term is 29. If the common difference is 3, how many times are in the AP? So now let us write the data. We are given the first term, which is denoted by A as 2. Common difference D is equal to 3. Last term is given as 29. And we are looking for the number of terms. So which formula should we apply? Let's use general term, Tn, which is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D. A is the first term, n is the number of terms, and D is the common difference. But remember, Tn represents every single term in a sequence. Therefore, we can substitute it with 29 because 29 is a term in the sequence, which is the last one. So we have 29 equal to A, which is 2, plus n, which is unknown, minus 1, d is given as 3. If you take this one backward, it becomes negative. We have 29 minus 2. This is equal to 3 times n will give us 3n, and 3 times negative 1 will give us negative 3. This will be 27, right? 27. You can directly take this one to the left. It becomes positive 3, and this remains 3n. This is 30 to the left, and this is equal to 3n. The moment you divide both sides by 3, you have 10 here, and this equals n. Therefore, n is equal to 10, which means that the number of times in this sequence are 10. This is question what? Number 3. Now let us move on to question number 4. Question number 4, we are asked to express log of x with the base of a plus log of y with the base of a equal to 3 in an index form. Remember one of the laws of logarithm, which stated that if you have addition between two logs of common bases, you can see the bases are the same. You can take a log with that base, log to base a, then you multiply the arguments, x times y, and this is equal to 3. But remember, we want to write it in an index form. So what is the relationship between logarithm and indices? If you have log of maybe a with the base of b, if this is equal to c, then the base b here to the power of c will give us a. This is the relationship between them, and hence we can say that a to the power of 3 is equal to xy, or you can say xy equal to a to the power of 3, all the same. And this is the solution to this problem. Let us move on to the last one for today. We have 2p minus q to the power of 2 minus p plus q to the power of 2, and we're asked to simplify. This is nothing but difference of two squares. If you have a squared minus b squared, this can be expressed as a plus b multiplied by a minus b, for which a here is 2p minus q and b is p plus q. So let's substitute. Therefore, 2p minus q whole squared, the minus p plus q whole squared. This can be written as 2p minus q, then plus the other bracket, which is p plus q, then multiplied by 2p minus q, then this time around minus. But as you subtract p plus q, the minus will affect the two terms, p and q. All of them will become minus, right? So 2p plus p will give us 3p. Then negative p and positive p will be 0. So we have only 3p from this bracket. Then from the other one, 2p minus p will be a single p. Then negative q is negative 2q. And hence, this is the simplified version of this. So subsequently, we are going to begin with question number 6 down to question number 10. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Here is continuation of our solutions on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Objective Questions. And in this tutorial, we are going to begin with question number 6 down to question number 10. Alright, question number 6 reads, if 3 minus 4 root 2 multiplied by 1 plus 3 root 2 is equal to a plus b root 2, we're asked to find the value of b, which is the coefficient of root 2. Alright, let's get started. All we have to do is to multiply this. Let us apply distributive property. We take this, we distribute over this. That would be 3 multiplied by 1 plus 3 root 2. Then we take the second term, which is negative 4 root 2. We distribute it over 1 plus 3 root 2. Then we expand. 3 multiplied by 1 will give us 3. 3 multiplied by 3 root 2 will give us 9 root 2. Then we move to the other bracket. The whole of this times 1 will not change it. So we have negative 4 root 2. Then negative positive is negative. 4 times 3 is 12. then root 2 times root 2 is root 4. Root 4 is the same thing as 2, right? So it's like multiplying this by 2. Let's further break it down. The whole of this will be negative 24, right? And we have 3 minus 24, that will be negative 21. Then we have 9 root 2 minus 4 root 2, that will be 5 root 2. 5 root 2. And that is all. What are we looking for? We are looking for b, which is the coefficient of 2. And you can see that right here, which is 5. And therefore, b is equal to 5. As simple as that. Moving on to question number 7. We are asked to find the time for which $1,250 will amount to $2,031.25 at 12.5% per annum simple interest. All right, what are we looking for? We are looking for the time. So what is the relationship? Since we are given amount, remember that amount is equal to the principal amount plus the interest. But we are not given interest, therefore we have to calculate it. Remember that interest is equal to the principal multiplied by the rate multiplied by the time. So we say that the amount which we are looking for is equal to principal plus the interest, which is principal, times the rate times the time. And remember that our goal is to find the value of t. So how can we make it the subject? Since we have p here in common, we can factor it out. So a is equal to p, in bracket, from this one we have 1 left, plus from this other one it has gone already, so we have only rt. Now we can divide both sides by p, so we have a divided by p equals 1 plus rt. Then we can subtract 1 from both sides. We have a divided by p minus 1 equals rt. And finally, we divide both sides by r. So we have t to be equal to a divided by p minus 1 divided by r. So this is the relationship. All we have to do is to substitute everything we have. All right, let me do it to the other side. Therefore, t is equal to a divided by p. What is a? Remember, a is the amount. Amount to, this is the amount. So we write it 2031.25. Remember to divide it by p. P is the principal amount, the initial amount, which is 1,250. Then what? We minus 1. Then everything here should be divided by r. R is the rate, which is 12.5%, which is going to give us 0.125. Let me start with this one. If you divide 2031.25 by 1,250, you're going to get exactly 1.625. Then we have to subtract 1. Remember, this one. Then we divide by 0.125. We move further. If you subtract 1 from our numerator, that will give us 0.625. Then we divide it by 0.125. Then finally we divide this, and that will definitely be equal to 5. Therefore, t is equal to 5. What does this mean? It means that after 5 years, the principal amount will result to what? $2,031.25. And this is the solution to question number 7. Now let us move on to question number 8. Question number 8 reads, if Log of 2x minus 1 with the base of 3 is equal to 5. We are asked to find the value of x. Alright, this is very simple. Remember, for definition of logarithm, if you take the base, you raise it to the result, it will give you the argument. So therefore 2x minus 1 will be equal to 3 raised to the power of 5. 3 raised to the power of 5 means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 in 5 places, right? Which is going to give us 243. Therefore 2x minus 1 is equal to 243. You can add 1 to both sides just to eliminate this negative 1. So to the left we have 2x, and to the other side it will be 244. Then finally we divide both sides by 2. X will be equal to 122. And hence this is the solution to this problem. X is equal to 122. Let's move to question number 9. The population of a town increases by 3% every year. In the year 2000, the population was 3,000. Find the population in the year 2003, just 3 years after. Alright, we are going to use compound interest formula, which stated that amount A, here we're talking about the total population, is equal to the principal multiplied by 1 plus the rate raised to the power of t, that is the time. Or we can call this one final population, and this initial population, all the same, right? So the initial population is 3,000. So we have this to be 3,000 multiplied by 1 plus the rate. Remember, the rate is what, 3%, which is going to give us 0.03 raised to the power of t, which is the time. From 2000 to 2003 we have 3 years. So this is the same thing as 3,000 multiplied by 1.03. If you add these two terms together, this is to the power of 3. So all we have to do first is to take 1.03 and raise it to the power of 3, which means that this times itself in 3 places. And this will be 3,000, then multiplied by what? 1.092727, right? Then we use 3,000 and multiply by this, and that will give us 3,278.181. But remember, we are talking about population, so we have to approximate it to 3,278. And this is the result, or the answer to this problem. Now let us move on to question number 10. Question number 10, a trader gave a change of 540 naira instead of 570 naira to a customer. We're asked to calculate the percentage error. Alright, let's do that. Remember the formula, it stated that percentage error is equal to the absolute measure divided by the actual measure multiplied by 100%. And this absolute measure is nothing but the difference between the initial and the final values given. So this is the same thing as 570 minus 540, then divide by actual measure is 570, because he's supposed to give this, but he mistakenly gave this to the customer. So we multiply this by 100%. If you subtract this, you're going to get 30. Divide by 570 times 100%. From the available options on the question paper, the answers were given in mixed numbers, so we're going to do the same thing. So 30 divided by 30 is 1, and 30 goes into 570 exactly 19 times. So we have 1 times 100, which is 100. So this is the same thing as 100 divided by 19%. 19 can divide 100 exactly 5 times with a remainder of 5 out of 19. This is percentage. and therefore this is the percentage error. Question number 10 answered. In our next tutorial, we are going to begin with question number 11 down to question number 15. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 11 down to question number 15. And question number 11 reads, an interior angle of a regular polygon is 168 degrees. We're asked to find the number of sides of that polygon. Alright, let us understand something here. When a polygon is said to be regular, is if and only if all its interior angles are equal. So every single angle in that polygon will have to be 168 degrees. And remember, if you want to find the sum of all the interior angles of any kind of polygon, you can take n minus 2, then you multiply by 180 degrees. For example, if you are dealing with a triangle that has 3 angles and 3 sides, remember that the sum of all its interior angles equals 180 degrees. So where n is 3 for triangle, 3 minus 2 will give us 1, and 1 times 180 is still 180. But in this case, we don't know the number of angles. So since we know that every single angle equals 168, we can divide this by n. N stands for the number of angles, or sides. And this must give us 168 degrees. So from here, we can cross multiply and expand the bracket. 180 times n will give us 180 n. 180 times negative 2 will give us negative 360. And this is equal to 168 n. I just decided to move on without assigning degrees, because in the end we are looking for a number of sides, not degrees. Alright, let us collect the like terms. You can take this one to the other side and bring this one backward. So we have 180n minus 168n, and this is equal to 360 degrees. And 180 minus 168 will give us 12. So we have 12n equals 360, and n equals 360 divided by 12, and finally n equals 30. And hence that polygon has 30 sides. And this is question number 11. Now let us move on to question number 12. If 3x minus 2y is equal to negative 5 and x plus 2y equals 9, we're asked to evaluate x minus y divided by x plus y. First of all, I would like to solve for x and y from this particular system of equation. Let me call this one 1 and call this one equation number 2. I would like to add equation 1 and equation 2 together. So we have 3x minus 2y equals negative 5, and we have x plus 2y equals positive 9. Remember, we are adding. So this plus this will give us 4x's. This plus this will give us 0. We move to the right. This plus this will give us positive 4. Then as you divide both sides by 4, you have x to be equal to 1. If x equal to 1, what will be the value of y? We can plug it into either this equation or this equation. I would like to take equation number 2, where x is 1. So plugging it here, we have 1 plus 2y equals 9. If you take 1 to the other side, it becomes negative. So 2y equals 9 minus 1, which is 8. Divide both sides by 2, you have y to be equal to 4. And hence the value of y is equal to 4. But remember, what we are asked to evaluate is x minus y divided by x plus y exactly. But we have seen that x is 1 minus y is 4, 1 plus 4, and 1 minus 4 is negative 3, and 1 plus 4 is 5, and hence the solution to this problem is -3/5. That's question number 12. Let us move on to question number 13. Question number 13 reads, a variable w varies partly as m and partly inversely as p. Which of the following correctly represent the relation with k1 and k2 as constants? We have A, B, C, D here as options. Well, look at the question carefully. W, which is given as the dependent variable, is equal to what? It varies partly as m. But remember, since we are talking about variation, you have to attach that constant of proportionality. So the first constant is k1, and it is directly proportional to m. So we have m here. And partly inversely, so it is inversely proportional to p, right? Yeah, you can see that here, inversely proportional. Then you attach your second constant to the top, that is k2, which I think is option C right here. Now let us move on to question number 14. Question number 14 reads, a cylindrical metallic barrel of height 2.5 meter and radius 0.245 meter is closed at one end. We're asked to find, correct to one decimal place, the total surface area of the barrel. Okay, let us construct it. Suppose we have something like this. Something like this. Let's assume this is the open surface. The radius is what? 0.245. 0.245. And the height is 2.5. So the curved surface area is given as what? 2 pi RH. That's the area of the curved surface. Then plus one of the cycles, because one is already open. So the total surface area will be area of cycle, which is pi r squared, then plus the curved surface area, which is 2 pi r h. I think we have pi and r in common, so pi r. Inside from this one we have a single r left, and this are already gone, so we have 2h. Then we can substitute. Remember, they say we should take pi as 22 divided by 7. So this is equal to 22 divided by 7 multiplied by r, which is 0.245. Then multiplied by another radius 0.245 plus 2 multiplied by h, which is 2.5. This is what we need to simplify. 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 0.245 will give us 0.77. Then we multiplied by, we can take 2 and multiply by 2.5, which is exactly this one. That will give us 5. And if you add 5 to this, that will be 5.245. So all you have to do is to multiply these two together. And if you do that, you're going to get 4.03865 meters squared. But remember, they said in one decimal place. So this is equal to 4.0 meters squared in one decimal place. And this is just the answer to this problem. Now let us move on to question number 15. Question number 15, we are asked to make capital R the subject of the relation V equal to pi L multiplied by R squared minus small r squared. All right, our main goal is on this R. So we first of all divide both sides by pi L. So we have V divided by pi L. This is equal to R squared minus R squared. Then we can take this one to the left. As we take it to the left, it becomes positive. We have V divided by pi L, then plus R squared equals capital R squared. We want to make R the subject, therefore we can take square root of both sides. Take square root of this and take square root of the other side. This will cancel this, leaving only R equals the square root of V divided by pi L plus R squared. It's supposed to be plus or minus since we have taken the square root of both sides. But I've realized from the question paper, we do not have this from the option. So if you see this one, it is the correct answer. But for me, I know there must be plus or minus here. And this is question number 15. In our next class, we are going to begin with question number 16 down to question number 20. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 16 down to question number 20. And question number 16 is under logic. It reads, consider the following statements. We have two statements given M and N, where M stands for Edna is respectful, while N stands for Edna is brilliant. You should know that a statement is just a declaration. It could be true or false. So these two statements can be true or false, right? But we are given a conditional statement here, which reads, if M, then N, which implies that if Edna is respectful, then she is brilliant. This is a conditional statement, and you should know that a conditional statement can also be true or false. All right. Which of the following is valid? Validity here means which one among these four options agrees with the initial statement or conditional statement here. All right, let's go through them. The first one here, you can see we have a sign here which stands for negation, the opposite of that statement. Negation M here stands for Edna is not respectful, and negation N here stands for Edna is not brilliant. So altogether, because of this arrow, it means that if Edna is not respectful, then she is not brilliant. We call this one the inverse of the original statement. This is inverse. Let's move to the next one. The second statement reads, if Edna is brilliant, then she is not respectful. This has no any relationship with the original one. So this one has no relationship with the original one. And we have another statement here which reads, if Edna is not brilliant, then she is not respectful. This is what we call the contrapositive statement of the original statement. And last one, you can see that it's almost the same with this one, though M and N has been switched. So we call this one converse of the original statement. All right, let's go back to the original problem. Before then, I would like to give you another statement. Let me see. Suppose, let me write it here. I will clean it later. Suppose M stands for Luku is in Sokoto. Sokoto is a state in Nigeria. Then let me write this one. Luku is in Nigeria. You see that Sokoto is a state in Nigeria, right? Therefore, for Luku to be in Sokoto, he must be in Nigeria. But he can also be in another state, like Lagos, and still be in Nigeria. But there is no way you can be out of Nigeria and still be in Sokoto. Therefore, the first statement must depend on the second statement. This is why I just write this one. Therefore, the first statement here, Edna is respectful, depends on being brilliant. Remember, we are looking for a true statement, right? If this is true,
If this conditional statement given to us is true, then contrapositive is always true. This must be true. And if contrapositive is true, then inverse is not true. And inverse has the same truth value with the converse always. So if the inverse is false, then converse must be false. And if this statement is false, then contrapositive must be false as well. Already I told you this one is out of the range. So which implies that contrapositive is the true statement here, is the valid statement. So we're going to mark it as C. So C is the right option here. And let me convince you that C is the right option. Let's assume that this statement is false. You know that definitely this must be false, and this must be true, and this must be true. And we cannot have two truths because we are looking for one here according to the question. Therefore, the contrapositive statement is the valid statement here. Now let us move on to question number 17. Question number 17 reads, a number is added to both a numerator and denominator of the fraction 1 over 8. If the result is 1 over 2, we are asked to find the number added. So I would like to declare the number with x. Let the number be x. So we are going to add x to both numerator and denominator of the fraction 1 over 8. So we have 1 plus x divided by 8 plus x. So we are adding the same value to both numerator and denominator, and the result is 1 divided by 2. So we need to find this x. By cross multiplication, we can take this and multiply by this. So 2 multiplied by 1 will give us 2, plus 2 multiplied by x will give us 2x, and this is equal to this times this. 8 plus x times 1 will not change it, so it remains 8 plus x. Let us collect the like terms. As we have 2x to the left, if x crosses over, it becomes negative x. This is equal to 8 is already to the right. As 2 crosses over, it becomes negative 2. And 2x minus x will give us just x. And 8 minus 2 will give us 6. But remember, we have declared the number with x. Therefore, the x is 6. The number added is 6. Unless if you want to confirm whether this is true. The moment you add 1 and 6 together, that will give us 7. If you add 8 and 6 together, that will give us 14. So if you reduce this, 7 can divide itself 1 time, and it can divide 14 2 times. So you can see 1 over 2, 1 over 2, which implies x equal to 6. Now let us move on to question number 18. Question number 18 is very simple on that ratio. It reads, Gifty, Justina, and Frank shared 60 oranges in the ratio 5 to 3 to 7, respectively. How many oranges did Justina receive? You should know that Justina is the second name here. Therefore, the second number here in our ratio represents Justina. And remember that these are all objective questions. You have to be very fast. So 3, which represents Justina, divided by the total ratio. If you add all of this together, you're going to get 15. Because 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 7 is 15. So you divide it by 15, then you multiply by the number of oranges you want to share among them, which is 60. And you know that 15 can divide 60 exactly 4 times. So 15 into 51, 50 into 60, 40. All we have is what? 3 multiplied by 4, which is equal to 12, which implies that Justina received 12 oranges. As simple as that. If you want to find out of Gifty, you take 5 out of 15 multiplied by 60. If you want to find that of Frank, you take 7 out of 15 multiplied by 60. But since we are only looking for that of Justina, we have to use 3. Question number 19, we're asked to find the quadratic equation whose roots are 2 over 3 and negative 1. Remember, we have a shortcut for that. The formula is x squared minus the sum of these roots, then multiplied by x, then plus the product of roots, right? Everything equal to 0. So this is x squared minus the sum, meaning we should add them together. We have 2 over 3 plus negative 1, but plus or minus will overpower, times x, then plus the product, meaning we should multiply them together, and this is equal to 0. 2 over 3 minus 1 is the same thing as 2 over 3 minus 3 over 3, which is negative 1 over 3. So x squared minus negative 1 over 3 times x, then plus, okay, if you multiply this together, you're going to get negative 2 over 3. This is equal to 0. Minus minus is plus. So we have x squared plus 1 over 3x minus 2 over 3 equal to 0. We don't need these fractions. Therefore, we can multiply every single term by 3. This times 3 will give us 3x squared. Then 3 times 1 over 3 will give us 1. 1 times x is x. Minus 2 over 3 times 3 will give us 2. And this is equal to 0. And hence, this is the quadratic equation that has these two roots, 2 over 3 and negative 1. Now, question number 20. A piece of road of length 44 meters is cut to form a rectangular shape such that the ratio of the length to the breadth is 7:4. We ask to find the value of the breadth. All right, you should know that this 44 will stand for what? The perimeter of that rectangle. So the road is bent to form a rectangular shape. This is the length and this is the breadth. But we are given a ratio here 7:4. Therefore, length divided by the breadth is equal to 7 divided by 4. We cannot conclude that the length is equal to 7 because this is an equivalent fraction. Maybe the fraction has been reduced to the lowest term. Therefore, we can attach a value here like x. X here, x here. Still, if you divide, you're going to get 7/4. And x here stands for a multiplication factor. Remember that the perimeter is given as what? 2 bracket length plus the breadth. But this time around, we are going to use this as the length, right? So P, which is given as 44 meters, is equal to 2 multiplied by L is 7x plus B, which is 4x. You divide both sides by 2. 44 divided by 2 is 22. This is equal to 7 plus 4 is 11. So we have 11x. And you can divide both sides by 11 to have the value of x. That is 22 divided by 11. And finally, x equal to 2. But x is not what we are looking for. We are looking for the breadth, which stands for what? 4x. So the breadth B is equal to 4x. Therefore, B is equal to 4 multiplied by 2 because x is equal to 2. And finally, B equals 8 meters. So the breadth is equal to 8 meters. And this is all about question number 20. In our next tutorial, we are going to begin with question number 21 down to question number 25. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 21 down to question number 25. And here is question number 21. We are given a diagram which you can see right here. Let us read the information given. In the diagram above, line MN is parallel to line KL. So let us find them. we have MN here and we have KL here. So these two lines are parallel. No matter where they get to, they will never meet. Then we have line ML and line KN intersect at X. So it means that this line right here, which is a transversal line, and this other transversal line meet at X. The measure of line MN is 12 cm. You can see that right here. This line is 12 cm in length, and the measure of MX is 10 cm. So from M down to X is 10 cm, and the measure of KL is 9 cm. You can see K down to L is 9 cm. If the area of the triangle MXN is 16 cm squared, so what is MXN? MXN, so we are talking about this particular triangle. The area is what? 16 cm squared. We are asked to calculate the area of the triangle LXK. LXK, so we are talking about this particular one. So it is unknown. Let us define it as A. If you observe, these two shapes are similar. Why do I say they are similar? Just observe. We have two parallel lines and a transversal line. These two lines are transversal lines. So if you observe, all of the two shapes have the same interior angles because these two lines are parallel and we have a transversal line here, which implies that this particular angle is equal to this one. Likewise, this angle must be equal to this one, and opposite angles are equal. So all their interior angles are the same. So it implies they are similar shapes. All right, if they are similar, we can use scale factor to find the area of the smaller figure here. Let us start with linear scale factor. What is linear scale factor? We need to find two lines that correspond. We know that this line and this line correspond. So we need to find that value which we can multiply this small value 9 to get 12. So that is our linear scale factor. So let the linear scale factor be something else. Let's call it X, or let me call it Y. So if we should take 9 and multiply by this Y, it will give us 12. That's linear scale factor. Therefore, if we divide both sides by Y, by 9, I mean, it will be 12 divided by 9. So this is our linear scale factor. Then there is what we call area scale factor. If we should find that area scale factor, then multiply by this small area, it will give us the big area, definitely. And we can find that from the linear scale factor. So area scale factor would be y squared, and y squared is 12 divided by 9 whole squared, and 12 divided by 9 squared is 144 divided by 81, because 12 squared is 144 and 9 squared is 81. Therefore, this is our area scale factor. So if we take this area scale factor, we multiply that with our small area A, right? Because I call it A. If we multiply this 144 by our small area, divide by each one, it will give us the big area, which is 16. So to find this small area, we can divide both sides by 144 divided by each one, or we can multiply both sides by the reciprocal, all the same. A is equal to 16 multiplied by the reciprocal of this, which is 81 divided by 144. So just take your calculator, take this value, multiply by this, then you divide the result by 144. That will give us 9 exactly. So A is equal to 9 cm squared, and this is the area of that small figure to the top, which is right here. Now let us move on to question number 22. Question number 22 reads, a ladder which is 15 meters long leans against a vertical pole, making an angle of 72 degrees with the horizontal ground. We're asked to calculate correct to one decimal place the distance between the foot of the ladder and the pole. Alright, let us make a sketch here. Suppose we have a pole right here. This is the vertical horizontal ground, and we have our ladder which is against this pole. This is our ladder. It forms an angle of 72 degrees with the horizontal ground, and it has a length of 15 meter, right? 15 meter. So we asked to find, correct to one decimal place, the distance between the foot of the ladder and the pole. So we're talking about from this point to this point. Let us call it x. So what is the relationship between the hypotenuse, because this is a right angle triangle. If you observe, this is our right angle, this is the adjacent side, and this is the hypotenuse side. So what is the relationship? It is cosine, because cosine theta is equal to what? Adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So cos of theta, which is 72 degrees, is equal to the adjacent side, which is x, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 15. Then to find x, we multiply both sides by 15. 15 cosine 72 degrees. And 15 multiplied by cosine of 72 degrees will give us 4.63525. But they said correct to one decimal place. Therefore, this is equal to 4.6. Is it in meters? Yeah, meters. In one decimal place. As simple as that. So this is the solution to question number 22. Let us move on to question number 23. Here is question number 23. We are given a circle and an inscribed figure here. This is a chord, remember? Okay, let me read the question first. In the diagram above, O is the center of the circle, and the measure of OA is 25 cm, and that of AB, A down to B, is 40 cm. We are asked to find the measure of OH. So from the center to this point, which is vertically, it bisects AB. So if you observe, let us pay attention to this one. It is a right angle triangle, because you can see that right here. So since this line bisected AB, it divides the line into two equal parts, making 20 each, right? Because it is 40 in length. So it stated that hypotenuse squared, according to Pythagoras theorem, it stated that hypotenuse squared, which is 25 squared, is equal to the adjacent squared, which is 20 squared, plus the opposite squared, which is not given. Okay, let me just call it OH, as mentioned from the question. So if we make this one the subject, it will be OH whole squared equals 25 squared minus 20 squared. If you don't have calculator, you can use difference of two squares, because this can be factorized as 25 minus 20, then multiply by 25 plus 20. This is the same thing as 25 squared minus 20 squared. And 25 minus 20 will give us 5, multiplied by 25 plus 20 will give us 45. And if you multiply this together, you're going to get 225. Remember, this is OH squared. But we are looking for OH, so you can take square root of both sides. You don't need to add plus or minus, because we're talking about length. And square root of 225 is 15. And hence, 15 cm is the length of OH, this side. This is 23. Let's move on to question number 24.
Question number 24 reads, given that P is 25 meter on a bearing of 330 degrees from Q, how far south of P is Q? All right, you should know that in bearing, the word from is very important. It indicates where you're going to construct that angle. So this angle 330 degrees will have to be constructed from Q. So let's start with the first point. So assuming we have point Q right here, this is point Q, and in three-figure bearing you have to start from the north clockwise. Remember that this is 90, this is 90, this is 90. So let's keep on adding 90, 90, 90, 180, another 90, that is 270. So we need 60 extra to get to 330. So let me use another color to complete it. This is 60. So the line heading to P is this, something like this. So this is point P. And it stated that from P down to Q is 25 meter, and this is 330 degrees. But this angle, only this angle right here is 60 degrees. Because I told you from this down, this is 270. So we need 60 extra to make it 330. So the question is saying how far south of P is Q? So we're talking about this vertical distance, which is the south of P, till it hits the point horizontally leading to Q, which is this one. So we're looking for this. So you can see we have the hypotenuse, we have the opposite side, and we have an angle of 60 degrees. This is a right angle. And according to the sine ratios, remember that sine of theta is equal to opposite divided by the hypotenuse. So sine of 60 degrees is equal to opposite divided by the hypotenuse. And x is equal to 25 multiplied by sine of 60 degrees. Use your calculator, press this directly, it will give you approximately 21.7 meter, and this is exactly the solution to this problem. Moving on to question number 25.
A car valued $600,000 depreciates by 10% each year. What will be the value of the car at the end of 2 years? The value would be initial value multiplied by 1 minus the rate at which it is depreciating, raised to the power of the number of years. So this is equal to, the initial value is 600,000 multiplied by 1 minus the rate is 10%, and 10% is the same thing as 0.1. This is to the power of 2 years, right? To the power of 2. This is 600,000. This is 0.9 to the power of 2. 600,000 multiplied by the whole of this is 0.81. And lastly, we're going to multiply these two values together, and that is $486,000 after 2 years. So from 600,000 to 486,000, you see there's a depreciation in the price or in the value. So this is all we have today. In our next class, we are going to start with question number 26 down to question number 30. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.
Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 26 down to question number 30. And here is question number 26, which reads, the length and the breadth of a cuboid are 15 and 8 centimeter respectively. If the volume of the cuboid is given as 1560 cm cube, we are asked to calculate its total surface area.
All right, to find the total surface area, we need all the side lengths. We are given the length, we are given the breadth, but we need the height. Therefore, we need to find the height. So let me sketch it here. This is the length, this is the breadth, and this is the height. Remember that the volume is given as length multiplied by the breadth multiplied by the height. Already this and this are given from the question as 15 and 8 respectively, including the volume is also given. So we have 1560 equal to L is 15 multiplied by the breadth is also given as 8, but the height is unknown. We need to find the height. So to find the height, we can divide both sides by 15 times 8. H is now equal to 1560 divided by 15 multiplied by 8. And if you simplify this using a calculator, you're going to realize 13 cm. So the height is 13 cm. Now let us find the total surface area. And the total surface area will be, remember that a cuboid has 6 faces. One, we have the other one at the back here. Remember this and this are exactly the same. We have a face here and we have another one here, which are identical, and we have the top and the bottom one, which are also identical. So each face appear twice. So the formula will be 2 multiplied by this area right here will be the breadth times the height, BH, plus, let me take this one, which is going to be LH, and lastly we have this one. Remember, this is L, this is B, so we have LB. Let's plug everything here. This is equal to 2 multiplied by the breadth is given as what? 8, and the height is 13, so we have 8 multiplied by 13 plus L is given as 15 from the question. The height is 13. Then lastly we have L times B. L is 15 and the breadth is 8. So let's simplify everything here. This is equal to 2. We have 8 multiplied by 13, which is 104, plus 15 multiplied by 13, which is 195, and lastly we have 15 multiplied by 8, which is 120. Then we need to add all of these numbers together. 120 plus 195 plus 104, that is 419. 2 multiplied by 419. If you do that, you're going to get 838 cm squared. And this is said to be the total surface area of this cuboid. Now let us move on to question number 27. Question number 27 reads, the number 1621 was subtracted from the number 6244, all in base x, if the result is 4323, which is also in base x. We are asked to find this x. We have several options here. A, x is equal to 7. B, x is equal to 8. C, x is equal to 9. And D, x equal to 10. So I'm going to present you 2 different ways to find the solution to this problem. Let's start with the complicated one. Since all of these numbers are in base x, I would like to convert them into base 10. So let me start with the first one. We have 1621 in base x. To convert it into base 10, you take the first number, you multiply by the base. That will be what? 1 times x is x, plus take the second number, which is 6, times it by x, take 2 multiplied by x, and lastly take 1 multiplied by x, which is just x. Then assign index 0, 1, 2, 3. Then simplify. This is going to give us x cubed plus 6x squared plus 2x, then x to the power of 0 is 1. So we are done with this first number. Let's take the second number, which is 6,244. 6,244 also in base x. This will be 6x plus 2x plus 4x plus 4x. 0, 1, 2, 3. Simplify. We have 6x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4x, then plus 4, because x to the power of 0 is 1 and 4 times 1 is 4. Then the last number here, which is 4323. 4323, let me confirm. Yeah, base x, this will be 4x plus 3x plus 2x, and lastly we have 3x. 0, 1, 2, and 3. Simplify. We have 4x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x plus 3. But remember, they said that if this number was subtracted from this, so I would like to take this and subtract this. 6244, 6244 in base x minus 1621, 1621 in base x will be equal to what? So we are going to take the result here and subtract this one. Well, let me do that directly, because they said the result is equal to what? Is equal to 4323. So let me just write it here. 4323 in base x. So let's perform the subtraction. Let me just copy the numbers. We have this one as the first one. Then let me take this one. I don't have more space, so let me start with the subtraction before we equate them. This minus this will give us 5x cubed. 5x cubed. This minus this will be negative 4x squared. This minus this will give us 2x. And 4 minus 1 will give us 3. And they say that the whole of this is equal to this, and this represents this one, right? So I'm just going to copy this one as well. I would like to bring all of them to the left hand side. We have 5x cubed. As this crosses over, it becomes negative, and 5 minus 4 is 1, so we just have x cubed. Then we have negative 4x squared. If this crosses over, it becomes negative 3, and negative 4, negative 3 is negative 7x squared. This, as this crosses over, it becomes negative, so we have 2x minus 2x, which is 0. 3 minus 3 is also 0, so we have nothing except 0 to the right. To the left hand side, we have x squared in common between the two terms. We have x minus 7. If you factorize it, it is either x squared equal to 0 or x minus 7 equal to 0, which means that x is either 0 or x equals 7. Remember, x represents a base, so x cannot be equal to 0 because we don't have 0 base, which implies that the x we are looking for is equal to 7. Let me show you the simplest way you can find this in case of objective question. Though it is objective, you don't have to waste time doing all of this. Remember, we have options here: base 10, base 9, base 8, base 7. But we have seen that 7 is the answer already, which is option A. But I would like to test 8, 9, and 10 to see whether it is going to satisfy or not. Let's start with base 10. 4 minus 1 is 3. Yeah, no problem. 4 minus 2 is 2. Yes. But 6 is greater than 2. Therefore, we have to borrow here. So if you are in base 10, what you are borrowing is 10. So 10 plus 2 will give us 12, and 12 minus 6, remember, is 6, not 3. Therefore, it is not base 10. What about base 9? Once you borrow bundle here, you bring it here as 9. 9 plus 2 will give us 11. And 11 minus 6 is 5, not 3. Therefore, it is not base 9. What about 8? If you borrow bundle here, it is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. And 10 minus 6, remember, is 4, not 3. What about 7? As you borrow 1 here, it becomes 7 here. 7 plus 2 is 9. And 9 minus 6 is 3 indeed. And remember, we have 5 here left. 5 minus 1 is 4. And hence, these are in base 7, which is option A. Now let us move on to question number 28. We're asked to factorize completely 27x squared minus 48y squared. Remember that between 27 and 48, we have a common factor of 3. So we can factor out 3. Inside 27 divided by 3 is 9x squared minus 48 divided by 3 is 16, then y squared. Then remember also that 9 can be expressed as what? 3 squared. And we have x squared minus 16 can be expressed as 4 squared. And we have y squared. According to one of the laws of indices, since we have common exponents, we can join the two values together and assign them a single exponent. So instead of 3 squared x squared, we can write it as 3x whole squared. The minus, we do the same thing here, 4y whole squared. But remember, we have 3 outside waiting to multiply. All right, this is nothing but difference of 2 squares. So we have 3 outside multiplying 3x plus 4y multiplied by 3x minus 4y. And hence we have just factorized it completely. What you need to remember about difference of 2 squares, if you have a squared minus b squared, this is the same thing as a plus b multiplied by a minus b. That's what I have applied here, where 3x is our a and 4y is our b. Just do that, you're going to obtain this. Let us move on to question number 29. For what value of x is x minus 3 divided by 4 plus x plus 1 divided by 8 greater or equal to 2? Okay, this is an inequality. First of all, I would like to change this to 8 because I have 8 here. And how can we do that? By multiplying this by 2. And once you multiply it by 2, you have to multiply the top by 2. So it's like multiplying the top and the bottom by 2. This is the same thing as 2x minus 6, because 2 times x is 2x and 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. Divided by 2 times 4 is 8. Then plus x plus 1 divided by 8 greater or equal to 2. Now we have common denominators. Let us add the numerators together. 2x minus 6 plus x plus 1 divided by 8 greater or equal to 2. All right, 2x plus x is 3x. So we have 3x. Then minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. Minus 5. And you can cross multiply directly. 8 multiplied by 2 will give us 16. Then you take this one to the other side. We have 3x greater or equal to 16 plus 5, which is 21, right? And if you divide both sides by 3, we have x to be greater or equal to 21 divided by 3. And 21 divided by 3 is 7. And hence, the solution to this problem is x greater or equal to 7. Now let us move on to question number 30, which you can see right here. We are given a diagram here, which is under cycle theorem. And we are asked to find the value of the angle marked y. So we are looking for this angle. But pay attention to this. This is a triangle, right? What about this one? This is an exterior angle of that triangle. And according to the theorem, it's stated that exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So once you add these two together, you're going to get this. So the name of this angle is QST or TSQ, all the same. TSQ is equal to SQR plus QRS. This is equal to 52 for the first one here, 52 degrees plus 16 degrees, right? And this is equal to 68 degrees. All right. Next, remember that this is a cyclic quadrilateral. Let me shade it for you to see clearly. This is a cyclic quadrilateral. One thing you should remember about cyclic quadrilaterals is that the sum of the opposite angles is what? Supplementary, meaning if you add them together, you're going to get 180. So y plus this particular angle will give us 180. So angle QPT plus TSQ is equal to 180 degrees. And this is y, which we are looking for, plus this one is already 68, is equal to 180 degrees. And lastly, y is equal to 180 minus 68 degrees. And y is equal to 112 degrees. And this is said to be the solution to this problem. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 31 down to question number 35. You can see that question number 31 is under cycle theorem. We are given a cycle here, a cyclic quadrilateral. We have a tangent here. We have an extension here that connects the tangent and point H. We asked to calculate the angle marked X. Why is it this one exactly? So let's get started. Pay attention to this one, this figure right here. It is a triangle, right? If it is a triangle, you should know that this angle here outside will be the exterior angle of that triangle. Because this is an objective question, so I would like to follow a shortcut. Remember that exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So the moment you add 38 and x together, that will give us this particular angle right here. So let me just write it. So it means that this angle right here would be what? 38 plus x. Another thing you should remember is that the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary, meaning if you add them together, you have to get 180 degrees, which means that 87 plus 38 plus x, 87 for this one, and 38 plus x for the other one. This must give us what? 180 degrees. And if you add 87 and 38 together, you're going to get 125. So this is 125 degrees plus x equals 180 degrees. Remember, we are looking for x. Therefore, x equals 180 degrees minus 125 degrees. If you subtract, you're going to get 55 degrees. And hence, the angle marked x right here is going to be 55 degrees. Now let us move on to question number 32, which is a word problem question. It reads, a cone and a cylinder are equal in volume. The base radius of the cone is twice the radius of the cylinder. what is the ratio of the height of the cylinder to that of the cone? Okay, I would like to make a simple sketch here. So we have something like this. This is a cone, and we have a cylinder. Something like this. So it stated that this cone, if the volume of this cone is V, then the volume of the cylinder is also V. According to the question, they have equal volumes. All right. Another thing, they said that the radius of the cone is twice the radius of the cylinder. So let's assume the radius of the cylinder is R. Therefore, the radius of the cone will be 2R because the radius here is twice this one, right? And we have a corresponding height here. Let's call it H. And let's call this height capital H. So what will be the volume of the cone? Remember, volume of a cone is what? 1 over 3 pi r squared h. Pi r squared h. But our r is 2r. Therefore, I'm going to replace it with 2r. Instead of just r, we have 2r squared h, this particular h. Then the volume of a cylinder is given as what? Pi r squared h, because we have capital H here, so I have to use this. So according to the question, these two volumes are exactly the same. 1 over 3 pi. Remember, 2r squared will be 4r squared because 2 squared is 4 and r squared is r squared. Then h, this is equal to pi r squared capital H. You can see that we have r squared and pi in common, pi and r squared. What we have left is 1 over 3 multiplied by 4, which is just 4 over 3. I can call it that. H equals just capital H to the other side. And we can simply divide both sides by this H. So 4 over 3 is equal to capital H divided by the small h. And remember, we are talking about ratio, so we can change it to ratio form. Let me write this one first. H over h, meaning h to h, and this is equal to 4 to 3, a ratio form. Therefore, the ratio of the height of the cylinder to that of the cone is 4 to 3, and this is our answer, 4 to 3. Question number 33, we are given a figure right here, and we asked to find the side length, which is marked h. Let's get started. I can partition it like this, something like this, such that, let me shift this h to the other side, such that this side will correspond to 17. This is 17, but we don't know which side is this, so we can call it x. So the combination of x and 17 will give us that side length, right? So everything here is h. Pay attention to this right triangle here because we have a right angle here. The side length here will correspond to 19. So we have 19 right here. According to Pythagoras theorem, it stated that the hypotenuse squared is equal to 19 squared plus x squared. Therefore, x squared will be equal to 20 squared minus 19 squared. And 20 squared minus 19 squared, according to my calculator, is going to give us 39. You can even use difference of two squares, that is 20 minus 19, which is 1, then multiply by 20 plus 19, which is 39. 1 times 39 is still 39. So this is x squared, and x will be the square root of 39. And square root of 39 is equal to 6 to the nearest whole number, because according to the question, I have not written the full question here. It is talking about to the nearest whole number. So if x is 6, what will be h? H will be the sum of what? 17 and x. 17 and x, which is 6. And this will give us what? 23. Therefore, h is equal to 23. meter. Is it in meter? Yeah. And this is said to be the solution to this problem. Let us move on to question number 34. The question reads, the gradient of the line joining the 2 points P and Q with coordinate 2, -8 and 1, y respectively is -4. So we ask to find the value of y. Remember, a slope. We're talking about slope here, which is the gradient. M is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we have two coordinates. We may decide to start from either direction. So if we call this one x1 and this should be y1, this will be x2 and this is y2. So let's substitute, and this is our slope m. So -4 for m is equal to y2, which is y, minus y1, which is -8, divided by x2, which is 1 here, minus x1, which is +2. -4 is equal to y plus 8 divided by 1 minus 2 is -1. Once you cross multiply, take -1 and multiply by -4, that will be +4, and hence y plus 8 is equal to +4. Take 8 to the other side, we have 4 minus 8, and 4 minus 8 is equal to -4, and hence the value of y is -4. Let us move on to question number 35. Question number 35, we are asked to find the angle WTX. WTX. So we are referring to this particular angle. Let me mark it. This particular angle, can we call it anything? Let me call it theta. All right, let us make an observation here. We have two lines, PQ and RS. These two lines are parallel. No matter where they get to, they will never meet. And we have two transversal lines that meet at T. You can see the meeting point here. So this implies that this angle is alternate to this one, right? So this particular one will be 44 as well, degrees. And we have a triangle here, and you remember that the sum of all the interior angles of a triangle equals 180. So if we should add 44, 50 and theta together, we are going to get that 180. So 44 degrees plus 50 degrees. Remember, you are dealing with objective questions. This is 180 degrees. So 50 and 44 is 94, right? Degrees plus theta equals 180. Remember, we are looking for theta. So theta will be 180 degrees minus 94, which I think is 86. So theta is equal to 86 degrees. And hence, this is the solution to this question number 34. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 36 down to question number 40. And question number 36 reads, the perimeter of rectangular garden is 90 meters. If the width is 7 meters less than the length, we ask to find the length of the garden. Okay, let us make a rough sketch here. Suppose we have a rectangular garden like this. This is the length, right? The longest side. But according to the question, the width is 7 meters less than the length. So we can say that length minus 7 will give us the width, right? And the perimeter P is always equal to 2 multiplied by the length plus the width, which is also L minus 7. But the perimeter is already given from the question as 90 meters, so let us substitute it. We have 90 here equals 2 multiplied by L plus L is 2L, so we have 2L minus 7. Divide both sides by this 2 because 2 is multiplying. 90 divided by 2 will give us 45. This is equal to 2L minus 7. You can take negative 7 to the other side. We have 45 plus as it crosses over, and this is equal to 2L. And 45 plus 7 will give us 52, which is equal to 2L. Then we divide both sides by the coefficient of L, which is 2. L finally equal to 52 divided by 2, and 52 divided by 2 is 26. And hence the length of the garden is 26 meters. Simple. Now let us move to the next question, which is question number 37. Question number 37 reads, 4 of the angles of a hexagon sum up to 420 degrees. If the remaining angles are equal, meaning they are identical, we are asked to find the value of each of the angles. Alright, first of all, you should know that the sum of all the interior angles of a hexagon equals 720 degrees. But suppose you don't know, let me show you how to find them. Remember, a hexagon has 6 sides. So you can say that n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees. This will always give you the sum. And n here stands for the number of sides, which is 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180. 6 minus 2 is 4 multiplied by 180, and this is 720, right? So the sum of all the interior angles of a hexagon is 720 degrees. But we are already given 420 for the 4 angles. So we are going to subtract them from 720. So if we say that 720 minus 420 degrees, this will give us what? 300, exactly. 300 degrees. So how many angles do we have left? Since the hexagon has 6 sides, and we already have 4 angles, you know, every polygon has equal number of sides and angles. So if we have 4 angles, then we have 2 extra to make it 6. So those 2 angles left will share 300 because they are equal. So we have 300 divided by 2 for the 2 angles, which is 150 degrees each. So this is the solution to this problem. Let us move on to the next one, which is question number 38. Question number 38, we are given a diagram here, and we're asked to find the value of x. X is an angle, which you can see here, which is angle MQR. All right, let us study this diagram. You can see that line QR and line MP are parallel. No matter where they get to, they will never meet. Okay, this is a transversal line. What can you remember? If this line is parallel to this one and we have a transversal line, it implies that this angle and this angle are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are equal. So we can mark this one as 55 degrees. So if this is 55, you should know that this is a triangle, and this x is an exterior angle of this triangle, and it's stated that exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the 2 interior opposite angles. So once you add these 2 angles together, it is going to give you the exterior angle. Therefore, x is equal to 65 plus 55, and this together equals 120 degrees. As simple as that. Therefore, angle marked x is 120 degrees. Okay, moving to the next one, we are given an information here. Let us read it. The following are masses in kilogram of members in a club: 59, 44, 53, 57, 49, 40, 48, and 50. We asked to use this information to answer question number 39 and question number 40. Question number 39, we are asked to find the mean of the masses. Mean here can be calculated by adding all the masses and divide by the number of masses. So let's do that. We have x bar for the mean equals 59 plus 44 plus 53 plus 57 plus 49 plus 40 plus 48 plus 50. Then the whole of this should be divided by the number of items: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So once you divide this by 8, you're going to get the mean. By adding all of these numbers, you're going to get 400, and 400 divided by 8 will give you what? Exactly 50. So x bar is equal to 50. Therefore, the mean of this mass is 50 kilogram. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 40, we are asked to calculate the variance of the distribution. Variance is given by s squared, which is equal to the summation of x minus x bar all squared divided by n. That is for the raw data given to us. All right. What is x? X is nothing but these numbers given. All of these are x's. Then x bar is what we have just calculated here. And summation, meaning we should add all of them together. So since we are dealing with objective questions, I think I can do that directly and skip some steps. All right, since our mean is 50, let's take the first one. That is x minus x bar. That is 59 minus 50. 59 minus 50 is 9. But remember, you have to square that. 9 squared is 81. So we have 81. The next plus 44 minus 50. That will give us negative 6. And negative 6 squared will give us 36. Plus the next one. The next one is 53. 53 minus 50 will give us 3. 3 squared is 9. Then 57 minus 50 will give us 7. 7 squared is 49. Then 49 minus 50 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. Next, 40 minus 50 is negative 10. Negative 10 squared is 100. 48 minus 50 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. And lastly, we take 50 minus 50, which is 0, as 0 squared is 0. Divide by the number of items, which is 8. So now let us add all of this together. And once you add the numerator, you're going to get 280. Then the denominator is 8. Then we divide by 8, and that will give us 35 exactly. Therefore, the variance is equal to 35. And this is the answer to question number 40. In our next tutorial, we are going to begin with question number 41 down to 45. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 41 down to question number 45. And question number 41 reads, two opposite sides of rectangle are 5x plus 3 meter and 2x plus 9 meter. If the adjacent side is 6x minus 7 meter, we're asked to find a meter squared, the area of the rectangle. All right, let me make a sketch here. This is a rectangle. They said that the adjacent side is 6x minus 7, and this is the adjacent side, right? 6x minus 7. And the opposite sides, talking about these two sides, remember they are equal. We have 5x plus 3, and we have 2x plus 9. So since the two sides are equal, we can equate them. This implies that 5x plus 3 is equal to 2x plus 9. By taking this one to the other side, it becomes negative 5x minus 2x. You take 3 to the other side, we have 9 minus 3. 5x minus 2x, that will give us 3x. 9 minus 3 is 6. If you divide both sides by 3, you have x to be equal to 2. Therefore, the value of x is equal to 2.
And to find the area, remember it is what? Length multiplied by the width. And since these two are the same, you can take any one of them. So the area A will be equal to 6x minus 7, then multiplied by 2x plus 9. And you can also use this one because they have the same value. If you want to confirm, just substitute 2 into the opposite sides. This will give us 10 plus 3, which is 13. This will give us 4 plus 9, which is also 13. So they have the same value. So now let us substitute the value of x equal to 2. A will be equal to 6 multiplied by 2 because x is equal to 2. Then minus 7 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, then plus 9. We have 6 multiplied by 2, that will give us 12. And 12 minus 7 is 5. So this is 5 multiplied by 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 plus 9 is 13. And 13 multiplied by 5 is 65 meter squared. And hence, this is said to be the area of this rectangle. Moving on to the next question, which is question number 42. The question reads, a die is tossed once. Find the probability of getting a prime number. Remember, a die has how many faces? 6 faces, 1 to 6. So let's say that the universal set is equal to set of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? This is the universal set. We're talking about prime numbers. Let's call it P. The prime numbers among these are numbers with 2 factors. We have 2, 3, and 5. We have 2, 3, and 5. So what will be the probability of this prime? It will be equal to 3 divided by 6, right? Because the universal set, we have 6 items, while this is the subset of the universal set, which is 3 over 6. And to the lowest term, you have 1 divided by 2. And remember that the numerator here is the expected outcome, while the denominator here is the sample space. All right, let's move on to question number 43. This is the solution to the 42. Question number 43 reads, the area of a sector of a cycle with radius 7 cm is 51.3 cm squared. We're asked to calculate to the nearest whole number the angle of the sector, taking pi equal to 22 divided by 7. So how does a sector look like? Something like this, right? So this is the sector, and we are looking for this particular angle. So what is the area of a sector? Remember that area of a cycle is pi r squared. But since this is just a portion of a cycle, we have to take theta divided by 360 for the complete cycle. So this will be the area of the sector. We are given the radius as 7 cm. What else? We're given the area of the sector as 51.3 cm. So let's substitute. This is 51.3 equal to theta, which we are looking for, divided by 360, multiply by pi, which they say we should use 22 divided by 7, then multiply by the radius squared, which is the same thing as 7 times 7, or 7 squared, all the same. So 1 7 will take care of 1 7 here. We have to the top theta times 22 times 7, and 22 times 7 is 154, right? So 51.3 would be equal to 154 theta divided by 360. And remember, since we are looking for the theta, we can multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this. So it will be theta equals 51.3. Then you multiply by the reciprocal, which is going to be 360 divided by 154. So you can just take your calculator, take this value, multiply by this, whatever you get, you divide by 154. And if you do that, you're going to get 119.9220 and so on. But remember that they said to the nearest whole number. So we have to approximate it to 120 degrees. So theta is 120 degrees for the question number 43. Now, question number 44. A cliff on the bank of a river is 87 meters high. A boat on the river is 22 meters away from the foot of the cliff. Calculate correct to the nearest degree the angle of depression of the boat from the top of the cliff. All right, let me make a sketch here as well. Suppose we have the cliff right here, and this is the horizontal ground in the river, and let's assume we have a boat situated somewhere here. So this is the top, and this is, according to the question, 87 meter high, and from the foot to the boat is how many meters? 22 meters. So we have 22 meters here. So we are talking about angle of depression from the top. So angle of depression will be the angle between the horizontal line and the line of sight. This is the line of sight to the board. So we're talking about this angle here. And remember that this angle and this angle are what? Alternate angles, and they are always equal. Therefore, the angle here will also be equal to theta. Remember that the horizontal ground and this horizontal line are parallel, and we have to consider this as a transversal line. Therefore, these two angles must be the same. All right, so what is the relationship between this value, this, and the theta? Remember that this is a right angle. This is the opposite side, and this is the adjacent side. Therefore, we have to use tangent. So tangent of theta is equal to opposite divided by the adjacent. And to find theta, we can take tan inverse of both sides. So just use your calculator, press tan inverse of 87 divided by 22. And this will give us 75.81 degrees. But remember that they said to the nearest degrees, so we have to round it to 76 degrees. And this is the solution to this problem. Now let us move on to question number 45. Here is question number 45, which is under cycle theorem. We are given a diagram here, and we are asked to find the measure of angle PST. PST. So let me mark it. We are looking for this particular angle. Let me call it X. But let us study the diagram carefully. This is a circle, RSPQ. We have a center here. This is a tangent line that touches the circle at exactly one point, which is at P. This is a diameter. We have chords. You can see 4 of them here. All of these are chords. So from alternate segment theorem, remember that that angle formed between the chord and the tangent line is equal to that interior angle which is subtended by the same chord. So observe, we have a chord SP or PS. This chord and the tangent line form an angle here. And that angle formed must be equal to that interior angle formed by that chord. This chord subtend an angle to the circumference, which is 35. So they must be the same according to alternate segment theorem. So we say that this angle is 35 degrees. So if you pay attention to this one, it is nothing but a triangle. And the sum of the interior angles of a triangle equal to 180 degrees, which implies that by adding these three angles, we have to get 180. And you can directly say that X is equal to 180 degrees minus 44 degrees and also minus 35 degrees. And if you subtract these two angles from 180, you're going to get 101 degrees. And hence, the measure of this angle is 101 degrees. In our next tutorial, we are going to begin with question number 46 down to question number 50. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye. Hello, good day viewers. Still on WAEC 2024 Mathematics Examination Objective Questions. Today we are going to begin with question number 46 down to question number 50. And question number 46 reads, the probability that a marker will pass an examination is 3 divided by 7, and that of Bola will pass the exam is 4 divided by 9. We are asked to find the probability that both will pass the examination. This is a very simple question. And these two events are independent. Whether this one pass or fail will not affect this one, remember. So if they are independent, you can just multiply their probabilities. So we are given that probability of a marker, let me call it A, is given as 3 divided by 7. And that of Bola is given as 4 over 9. Therefore, probability of A intersecting B is equal to probability of A multiplied by probability of B, which is equal to 3 divided by 7 multiplied by 4 divided by 9. Okay, this is 9, sorry. And 3 can divide itself exactly 1 time, and it can divide 9 exactly 3 times. So to the top we have 1 times 4, which is 4, and to the bottom we have 7 times 3, which is 21. And hence this is said to be the probability 4 divided by 21. Let us move on to question number 47. Question number 47 reads, which of the following points lies on the line 3x minus 8y equal to 11? And we're given some points here. Remember that all these are coordinates, right? The first one is for x and the second one is for y. So if you want to find exactly the point that will satisfy this, you can take a point and substitute it to the left hand side, simplify and see whether you're going to get 11. If you got 11, then that is the right point. So let's start with the first one where x and y are both equal to 1. So we have 3 multiplied by 1 minus 8 multiplied by 1. Simplify. 3 times 1 is 3. 8 times 1 is 8. And this will give us negative 5. And negative 5 is not equal to 11. And hence, this is not the right answer. Moving on to the next one, where x is 1 and y is negative 1, we have 3 times 1 minus 8 times negative 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. And if you add, you're going to get 11. And this is said to be the right option. But we can test others where x is negative 1 and y is positive 1. We have 3 times negative 1 minus 8 times 1. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. 8 times 1 is 8. This is negative 11, which is not the same thing as 11. So this will not satisfy. And the last one is when both of them are negative. We have 3 times negative 1, negative 8 times negative 1. This is negative 3, this is positive 8, and this will give us positive 5, which is not the same thing as 11. And hence, B is the right option. Let's move on to question number 48. Question number 48, we are asked to find the range of the following set of numbers. What is a range? Range is just the difference between the highest value and the least value. So the highest value here, let's study them carefully. I think 39 is the highest value here. And the least value, the smallest one, is 15. So to find the range, it is simply 39 minus 15. And 39 minus 15 is equal to 24. Therefore, the range of these values is 24. Very simple. Moving on to question number 49. Question number 49 reads, the fourth and the eighth times of an arithmetic progression are 16 and 40 respectively. Find the common difference. What you should remember is that the fourth term is given as T4, which is equal to the first term plus 3 multiplied by the D, common difference, right? And they said that this is equal to 16 according to the question. And term number 8 is given as A plus 7D. Just subtract n minus 1. N is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. 8 minus 1 is 7. So that is how to obtain them, and this is equal to 40. And we can give them a name. This is equation 1 and this is equation number 2. You can say that equation number 2 minus equation number 1, right? Because I realize this is bigger, so I would like to start with equation number 2. A minus A is 0. 7 minus 3 is 4. So we have 4D equal to 40 minus 16 is 24. Then you divide both sides by 4 to get the value of D. And 24, oh sorry, this should be 4, right? And 24 divided by 4 is 6. Therefore, the common difference is 6. As simple as that. Moving on to the last question, which is question number 40. We are given a rational function here, which is y plus 2 divided by 8y squared minus 10y plus 3. And the question reads, for which value of y? And the question reads, for which values of y is the whole of this function not defined, meaning undefined? Remember that whenever you have a rational function, for that rational function to be undefined, the denominator will have to be equal to 0. So whenever the denominator of a function is equal to 0, the whole system is undefined. So we want to find the zeros of our denominator. So 8y squared minus 10y plus 3 equal to 0. So whatever value or values of y we got here are said to be the solution to this problem. All right, to factorize this, you can take 8 and multiply by the constant, and this will give us 24. Then you think of two numbers which when you multiply them together, you get 24. But the moment you add them together, you get negative 10. And the numbers are negative 4 and negative 6. So we can replace the middle term with negative 4 and negative 6, right? 8y squared minus 4y minus 6y plus 3 equals 0. Though I can do a shortcut, but I would like to show you how to factorize it fully. Common terms here is 4y. Inside, 8 divided by 4 will give us 2. Y squared divided by y will give us y. Minus 4y divided by 4y is 1. Here, what do we have in common? Minus 3 between these two terms. If you take minus 6y, you divide by negative 3, that will give us 2y. And 3 divided by negative 3 is negative 1. This is equal to 0. We have 2y minus 1 in common, so you take one of them. From the first term, we have 4y. From the second term, we have negative 3. This is equal to 0, which implies either 2y minus 1 equal to 0 or 4y minus 3 equals 0. So let's start with the first one. If you take negative 1 to the other side, it becomes positive. 2y equal to 1. Divide both sides by 2. You have y to be 1 divided by 2. Or you take this one to the other side, it becomes positive. You divide both sides by 4, you have y equal to 3 divided by 4. And hence, 3 divided by 4 and 1 over 2 are said to be the solution to this problem. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye-bye.